from the band's election process. If you have questions about the election process, please contact the election board. The purpose of these forums is to inform and educate voters about the candidates and the key issues facing the Boy Sport Band of Chippewa, to offer candidates the opportunity to inform voters of their qualifications for office, positions on key issues, and plans should they be elected, and to further inform and educate candidates of key issues facing the Boy Sport Band of Chippewa. Today's forum is for the candidates running for Boy Sport Band of Chippewa Secretary Treasurer and District 2 Representative. The candidates received forum protocols outlining the format and components of this event tonight. The protocols are also available on your table and at the table near the entrance. Please take a moment to review those if you haven't done so already. Following is an overview of tonight's event. Each candidate has met with me and will be drawing their names shortly to determine the order of opening statements. Closing statements will occur in the reverse order. All candidates may remain in the forum area for the opening and closing statements. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to make an opening statement and 3 minutes to make a closing statement. Our timekeeper will be sitting in the front and will signal candidates with time cards when 1 minute remains, 30 seconds remain, 15 seconds remain, and when time is up. Following the statements, candidates will be escorted to a quiet waiting room to wait for their turn to answer questions. Candidates will not be able to hear one another's questions or responses. We'll be taking candidates' phones and devices during this section to prevent them from hearing questions before their time. We will present 3 questions to each candidate, and candidates will be invited individually into the candidate forum room to respond to these questions. Each candidate will have up to 2 minutes to respond to each question. The time will begin as soon as the candidate starts speaking. Again, the timekeeper will signal with the timing cards when 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and time has expired. You do not need to use all of your time, but you will be cut off right at 2 minutes. Once the candidate finishes answering their questions, they will go back to the waiting area while the next candidate responds. When all candidates have finished answering the question and answer section, they will all be invited back into the room, and each candidate will have the opportunity to give a 3-minute closing statement. They'll be made in the reverse order of opening statements. Again, our lovely timekeeper in the front will signal when there is 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 15 seconds remaining, and when time is expired. Candidates running for Secretary Treasurer will go first, followed by those running for District 2 Representative. The forum will conclude promptly after the last closing statement. In fairness to everyone involved, it's vitally important that we conduct ourselves in a positive and respectful manner during the forum. The following are the rules that we will be adhering to. Please be sure to silence all cell phones and other electronic devices and keep usage to a minimum. If you must take a call, please step outside or in the little waiting room area to do so. Recording of any kind by attendees is prohibited. Please respect that rule. I believe we are recording on the Zoom, and so that will be available to you later. The audience will give each candidate the opportunity to be heard. This is not a community meeting, and comments from the audience will not be accepted. Timelines and rules will be strictly followed, and the forum will end promptly as scheduled. Childcare, of course, is not provided, so we'll all do our best to keep an eye on those little ones in the room tonight. And all candidates have agreed to the forum rules and protocol. And I, as the moderator, do have the authority to adjust the rules if unexpected circumstances should arise. Candidates, please keep in mind, as the moderator, I mean no disrespect if I interrupt you when your time is up. At this time, we'll call up our candidates for Secretary Treasurer. We have Peter Chief Boney, Carol Burr, Tara Gishik, Jeffrey Matson, and David Morrison Sr. Have y'all come on up?
Here.
Popsicle stick drawing again. It does.
I wasn't there.
No order.
Well, you gonna sit in her spot? I guess so.
Heavy. I feel like I'm sitting just high.
But yeah,
Whoops, sorry, chief.
pretty bad when I can't touch the floor. There we go. What I get? 5.
Three this time. Oh, you won again?
Sarah, what number do you have?
4. That's 3.
Okay, chief.
That's right. That was 3. I mean, 1.
I was.
One.
Okay.
4. Okay. Awesome. I mean,
Okay.
be so
Lost it yesterday.
Open wide.
You have the word on the side. It's right here.
There you go.
You don't. The candidates will each receive 3 minutes to make your opening statement. Candidate order is Tara Gishik. Candidate number 2 will be Peter Boney. 3 is Carol Burr. 4 is David. And 5 is Jeffrey Matson. So at this time, I will introduce Tara Gishik to make your 3-minute opening statement.
It's right here, right?
Yeah.
Even if we stand up? Terra Indigenous, Adik Indundem, Asbikine Zagagan, Indunjaba, Miigwech, Yibijauma. My name is Tara. I am Caribou Clan. I'm from Net Lake, and thank you for coming. I'm honored to stand here before you as a candidate and seated Secretary Treasurer of the Bois Forte Band. My leadership has always been rooted in service, listening first, acting with integrity, and ensuring that every decision strengthens our sovereignty and future. With a deep understanding of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Constitution, Bois Forte Bylaws and Ethics Code, and the responsibilities entrusted to this office. I have worked to transform our financial systems, restore accountability, and build long-term stability for the next generations. Over the past several years, we have taken bold, measurable steps together. We modernized our financial operations by implementing Tyler Technologies' accounting system and launching a new HR system, replacing decades-old infrastructure, bringing our government into a new era of efficiency, accuracy, and transparency. We stabilized years of past due audits and established a system that ensures timely, compliant audits moving forward. For the first time in our history, we built meaningful financial reserves, growing them to 2.5 million through disciplined strategic investing. And we expanded federal 105L leasing from 3 to 21 buildings, securing sustained revenue that strengthens our sovereignty and supports our facilities for years to come. This work reflects a leadership approach grounded in accountability, service, and long-term vision. The kind of leadership our band deserves, the kind of leadership I can deliver. Which?
I'll introduce Peter Chief Boney to give his 3-minute opening statement.
Bonjour and big wigs for allowing me this opportunity to stand before you and to put some stuff out there. I've got this thing going really bad, so I'm going to cut mine really short. I do have ideas and thoughts. They're on my Facebook page, Peter Boney for Secretary Treasurer. Also on my phone, you're more than welcome to call me anytime, 763-245-3325. And one more thing. Email, eatmac, like eat mac and cheese at yahoo.com, all lowercase level. Thank you.
I'll now introduce Carol Byrne to give their opening.
Bonjour, my name is Carol Burr, formerly Carol Villebrin. I've been married to my husband, Tom Burr, for 32 years. I am the proud mama of Joshua Villebrin and Bridget Burr. I was raised in Nett Lake by my parents, Tiny and Lorraine. I have 3 brothers, Eddie, Brian, who's deceased, and Warren Villebrin. I have many nieces and nephews, along with great nieces and nephews. No grandchildren myself, but hopefully someday. Growing up in Nett Lake shaped who I am, and I have many amazing memories growing up there. About my family, my husband worked for the BIA for 26 years, retiring as a superintendent. Our son, Joshua, was a BIA police officer, lieutenant for Nett Lake and Vermilion. And our daughter, I keep claiming out my kids, has her master's degree from UMD and is the resort front desk manager at Fortune Bay. Very proud of my children. I decided to run for Secretary Treasurer to use my experience, past employment, and knowledge to help our tribe move forward and achieve the many priorities to help our band members. As a tribe, we need to pursue as many diverse opportunities as possible to become less dependent on the federal government. We need to improve our communication with all of our band members, and I would like to see an actual communications department, hopefully run by our band members. Another item is I would like to see us bring back the community meetings that used to be held and have them quarterly, and we would have them here in Nett Lake and in any heavily populated area in Minnesota by our band members. That makes sense. Other items are searching for funding for senior housing. I'm going to tell you that's tough. We've applied to HUD for like 4 years in a row and not get that money. So we're still on it. I want to find money for that, for single housing and off-reservation housing. We need to help our off-reservation band members as well as here. Create a culture program that's virtual so that everyone on and off the reservation can have access to that education. I am a product of the boarding schools. My grandparents didn't teach my parents, and so my parents didn't teach me. And I'm guilty of not taking it upon myself to learn it, but I would like to. I'm going to be 65 this year, so I think I got 5 more years to do that. And then I work for the Planning and Community Development Department right now, and we're doing a lot. So thank you, Miigwech, and I'm glad you're all here.
I'll now introduce David Morrison Sr. to give his 3-minute opening statement.
Okay, welcome and thank you tonight for joining us for this important meeting of the candidates. And you're going to be hearing from all of us tonight. And as a former Secretary Treasurer, I had firsthand experience in operations of the tribal government. And the responsibilities that go with that office are very important to the band membership as a whole, because they're in charge of all the financial information that has to go along with our band. Looking ahead, we have to keep an eye out on what Donald Trump and his administration is going to be doing to us. We know that he's looking at cutting funds to Indian tribes all across the nation. And that estimated amount is about $25 million. And that would be devastating to all the tribes, including Bois Forte. And we can't allow that to happen because we're sovereign and we have treaties that we signed with the United States, and we have to make sure that they honor that treaty and keep that treaty open with us and that dialogue open with us. Communication is very important, and as both Carol and the rest of the candidates have said, with communication is vital, and we have to hold regular community meetings on and off reservation. We need to make band members feel welcome. Come to the office, our tribal office, and meet with the tribal leaders to inform us of issues that concern them, and so we can take those issues and bring forward to better management our tribal government. We have to make annual financial reports to our band members, and in a timely manner and keep current on news and events that the tribal government is currently having. As I stated, communication is vital. It's very vital to allow our band membership to know where we're at financially and what we're doing daily and on a continual basis. I want to say, when you vote, when you're gonna vote and elect one of us, make sure you vote for one of us, because we all have our heart made for leading our band. Thank you for attending tonight's forum as you prepare your vote, to cast your vote. And I want to thank the moderators and the lady, the cook, the very good meal again. And thank them, and Rich, and we'll talk with you more later. Thank you.
I'll now introduce Jeffrey Matson, 3-minute opening statement.
Thank you for coming out, everybody. It's always good to see a lot of people showing up and speaking and, giving your ideas and asking questions. That's where your voices really matter. I want to touch on this topic, and it's I've been hearing that the council is more feared than anything, and we need this to change. Whether it's one of us, whether it's me, we need this to change and bring that respect back, and it starts from the top down. We need someone in office who will listen to our band members, encourage our band membership, and give them the tools to succeed with us. We face an ongoing issue of the leadership turning away our band members and our knowledgeable band members by telling our children that they need to get an education and leave the reservation. They leave and they don't come back, where we can utilize their success. And in turn, we would be successful as a band as well. In our businesses, at their homes, and off reservation, our band needs to show that they have the people's back. Going back to our roots of supporting our band members, being unified as a whole, as our power lies with our numbers, without the division. Last night I was trying to be cautious with my words, with my speeches, and tonight I plan on not doing that. I want everybody to see that we can't be afraid to speak up and say what we really want from our leadership. Here's our chance now to make a change. Please vote. I'd say please vote for me, as I will be dedicated, honest, and implement the changes that we need to get ahead of things, as we've always been in last place. Thank you everyone for listening, and please show your voices on March 31st. Miigwech.
For your opening statements. It's now time to transition to the question and answer phase. We'll follow the same order as opening statements. And candidates, if you could leave your devices in our lovely basket here. If you have other smartwatches as well, we can get those.
I left them all home this time.
Mine's on the table.
Good.
Mine's on my.
Okay, all right. We'll give them a moment to head into the candidate room.
Everybody's leaving, or do I?
And we wanted to make a note in particular for our band members that will be voting in the urban area. Voting this year will be at the Minneapolis American Indian Center, not at the MCT building. And of course, for a reminder for everyone, as the candidates mentioned, the primary election is on Tuesday, March 31st. We will now begin our question and answer portion. Our first question: how can the band create more economic opportunities so band members can build businesses, careers, and jobs within our community?
For businesses, we do need to adhere to the resolution. So there needs to go, you guys need to vote on every new opportunity that comes our way for business. So that's something that's in your hands to do, and you can let us know yay or nay on certain businesses. So that's happened in the past. For example, what was it? The Evelith grocery store, gas station. You voted on yes on that, and that ended up not happening. They didn't want to, they didn't want us to put that land into trust. So we got out of that deal. Every land that we have, we putting into trust. So any proposals that come forward, I always ask for their financials, how much the land that goes with the building. And I make sure that if they're gonna ask for an NDA from us, why is that? And then if they have any ties to the band. I also ask for any property taxes because I want to see how much that's gonna cost us before we go into business. That always distracts me. And I always ask those hard questions because I don't want us buying anybody's failed business. And I've said that to people who have offered us. And it's a little bit of a harsh thing to say, but as you know me, I don't mince words, especially when it comes to
Which, Tara,
Which.
the second question, given the current administration, including the current congressional seat, what will you do to ensure the wellness of the tribe?
Well, I'm going to DC next week for MAST, Midwest Alliance for Sovereign Tribes. As a bunch of us get together throughout the nation, we talk about a lot of topics, what's going on in the entire nation, not only Minnesota. I've gone every year for the past 4 years. 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? No, it was about a year and a half ago. Me and Stauber had words. He was addressing the nation. We were in a U format, and he was in front. And he noticed that Kathy Chavers wasn't in the crowd, and he had made some remarks. And so I'm not a vice chair. I think Travis was the vice chair at that time. I'll hurry this up. And he said, I asked if I could say something, and he was like, go ahead. So I got up and I expressed that I didn't appreciate what he said. And I was from Boys Fort. We will not be quiet. Your leadership is, and I kind of went into some not quite nice things to say, and he appreciated that. He appreciated feedback, and he remembers who I am. We will be contending in the future. He remembers me because when I got on the plane, he jumped up and he was like, "Hi, Tara," and I was like, "Hello, Pete." So I know some of the people that I do need to battle with, and I will do that in a respectful manner. Which.
For the third question, in your opinion, what is the most important issue facing the band and how are you going to address it?
The most important issue is building. We need to build the band. So that entails housing. I would say housing is one of our biggest downfalls. We have a lot of vacant homes, and we've had a lot of vacant homes for at least 10, 15 years. We're still paying the lights, water, and everything for those homes. just tossing money away. We need to either assess those homes. Do they need to be torn down? We need to get new money for those, to build new homes. We need to convey homes that people have already paid for and done everything that they were told to do for those homes. So then that frees up NAHASDA monies. We convey those homes, their homeowners, to those folks. That frees up NAHASDA money for everybody else for maintenance. So that needs to happen, and it's not quite happening. So we need to assist our housing department to do that. And then maybe we'll have more people working here. We'll fill our homes. More of our kids will go to school here, and we'll flourish as a community.
Which Tara, you can go with Sasha back to the candidate room.
Yeah.
Over here. Oh, you're gonna stand? Okay. So we'll introduce Peter C. Boney for your 3 questions. You have 2 minutes to respond to each question. The first question, how can the band create more economic opportunities so band members can build businesses, careers, and jobs within our community?
That's a tough one because, well, the Minnesota Chippewa Constitution, I believe Article 3, it's in there anyway. Okay, it says that tribal council should not hinder or prevent band members from trying to exceed themselves, trying to get a business going. And it's tribal council's responsibility to help our band members to succeed. If that makes sense to you, it's in the Constitution. All right. Sometimes I believe it's the lateral pressure or whatever you want to call it that hinders us from doing this. We don't want to see someone do better than ourselves, and that hurts us. Holding someone from getting a promotion because you don't like him, you don't like her, or you don't like the family. That's not right. That's wrong. Um, it's vitally important that we all support each other, and no matter what kind of a business we are trying to get going. I do see some beautiful people up here that have small businesses going, and that's inspirational. That's what we need. More small businesses. Chimigwich.
Given the current administration, including the current congressional seat, what will you do to ensure the wellness of the tribe?
I was just talking with someone about this, and our band up here currently, we have some good services. Our clinic here and our clinic in Ned Lake. The ones that bother me are the people that are living in the rural, out there in not rural, in the cities, in Duluth, in the urban areas. That's what bothers me. What I would like to see, and what I would like the clinics and stuff to do, or health and human services do, is to get like a traveling Medivan type deal where we can take providers down to Duluth for a day to service our people in Duluth, to service our people in Minneapolis, in Bemidji, in Brainerd, and that would be like a full-time job for one provider and a nurse. And it's billable services. It's there. We can do it. It's just got to be figured out how we can do it. Big Rich.
The third question, in your opinion, what is the most important issue facing the band and how are you going to address it?
I think the most important issue with the band right now is the lateral violence type deal. I think, you know, we got to look at things and we got to start being more supportive of each other. We've got to start taking care of each other. When I grew up in Net Lake a long time ago, um, years and years ago, there's a couple people in here that might remember it, but you used to be able to go to someone's house, into their house and eat, have a sandwich, have a pop, whatever they had in their house was yours. You go to someone's house nowadays and it's, you know, it's locked up. You got cameras everywhere. Um, it's, there's no community. You know, that's the big thing I feel is no community. There's no sense of togetherness betwixt Net Lake and Vermilion. It's either or, and that's not right. That's sad. You know, that is really sad because we're one people. We are one people, not two different bands. If it was two different bands, that might be okay, but we're not, you know. We have to look at things and we have to figure out how we can connect them together and how we can come together better as a band. Big Witch. Come on. Just tell them to grab it because it can't.
Stand in front, just so folks could hear a little bit better. You can hold the mic kind of there too as well, so the folks on the mic.
All right.
As a reminder, you'll have 3 questions, 2 minutes for each question.
All right.
For the first question, how can the band create more economic opportunities so band members can build businesses, careers, and jobs within our community?
Oh, so I know that we've been working on, it's called the SSBCI, and it's a small business program that Boysport actually has. Kim actually is working with that. I was a little bit a part of it, but you could do that, create your own business. There's opportunities to do training, and that's a free training. So if anyone was interested, just you can contact me and I can get you the information. But I think we do need more band-owned businesses here, and then maybe even like in the cities and Duluth and that area, because I know there's like a native-owned restaurant in the cities. Why can't one of our people do that, right? We got awesome cooks here that they would be a success. But there are programs out there. You just need to get a hold of us. We can get you in touch with them. And if you need help applying for that funding or that program, just let us know. I don't know too much about the program, but I can get you in touch. That help? Was that it? Okay. Next one.
Question number 2, given the current administration, including the current congressional seat, what will you do to ensure the wellness of the tribe?
Well, last night I said we really need to be out in DC. I know that we need to deal with the res itself, but we also need to be out in DC get our name out there, fight for our rights, fight for the fact that we need to remain a reservation, because with the current administration, with Trump in office, and I'm sorry if there's any Trumpers in here, but he wants to get rid of reservations. He wants our land is what he wants. He wants to have that and have access to it. He doesn't think we should have it. He probably wants our casinos. You know, we have some very successful casinos. So we really, I don't see our leadership down there very often. But we need to be. I mean, whoever's elected, if I'm elected or not, whoever else is, they really need to be down there and get their voice heard. Meet with legislators, help Native Americans run for Congress. Why aren't we having more people in Congress? You know, it's just, we've got a gentleman here who's running. We need to support him. He lives on the res. You know, that's the only way I see how to do it. We just need to get down there, you know, and they're not gonna hear us up here. They're not. We need to be there. Oh, did I have time? Oh,
In your opinion, what is the most important issue facing the band and how are you going to address it?
and I know that everyone's saying this and it's kind of redundant, but communication, right? A lot of people don't know what's going on. A lot of people don't know where to look to see what's going on. I really honestly, I think having that communication department with our band members doing it and then just being on every social media site, putting everything out there. My son lives on a reservation and he doesn't know half of the events that are going on. I need to get better at telling him, but you know, it's, he should have an opportunity to go to a site and say, hey, this is going on. When I lived off the reservation, I'll tell you what, I didn't know a thing about what was going on up here. Our website isn't updated. It doesn't have all of our events on there. We really need to put those on there because all of the employees know what's going on. But if you're not sharing that with the community, who's going to know, right? So in order to do that, we need somebody dedicated just to doing that. Good, I'm good.
I think there is still plenty of food, lemonade and tea. So if you are still hungry, feel free to help yourself. I think there's also takeaway boxes. Yes, so be sure to pack something up to take home with you as well. I recommend standing in front and holding the little device.
Holding the little device.
Are you fine? Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
just so that way that folks can hear in the back.
Okay, okay.
Are loud. All right. As a reminder, you'll receive 3 questions. You'll have 2 minutes to respond.
Okay.
First question. How can the band create more economic opportunities so band members can build businesses, careers, and jobs within our community?
Well, first of all, I guess we'd have to set a nice plan in place where we could get band members that have business experience and get them on a committee of some kind. And so we could reach out to those kind of band members. And I know that at one time the Minnesota Chippewa tribe had a office in place that would allow band members to get out there and look at getting into a business. And so we could utilize, the Minnesota Chippewa tribes. We could reach out to the other bands and see what they're doing, so we wouldn't have to recreate the wheel. And so I think that by allowing that to happen, that would make it better and easier for our band members that are trying to look to establish a business of whatever business they may be looking for, to make it easier for them for that to happen. And I know that that the state of Minnesota is always willing to help us. I mean, I know the governor Walsh that's in office now. I know that he'd be willing to help the tribes. And I know the lieutenant governor is a band member of White Earth, and that she'd be willing to probably help with that endeavor to allow band members to to get a business and establish a business either on the reservation or off the reservation or just adjacent to the reservation boundaries. But I think that would be a way to start something like that. So thank you.
Administration, including the current congressional seats, what will you do to ensure the wellness of the tribe?
Well, again, we have to look at Trump's administration and how he is not widely wanting to work with the tribes. He's lumping the tribes into other ethnic groups. I should say, And we're not an ethnic group. We're a band. We're a sovereign band. And we are we have treaty rights. We have treaties with the United States, and they have to honor them. And we as tribal leaders have to set up meetings with our congressional people, whether it's our senators, our congressmen, but we have to knock on their doors, go out see them, invite them to the reservation, and let them see what we're trying to do because we're their constituents. We also vote for them guys that are holding those current seats. And so we have to reach out to them and keep that door open for them to communicate with us, for us to communicate with them. And I think that's my question is answered, I think.
In your opinion, what is the most important issue facing the band and how are you going to address it?
Well, I guess one of the most important probably is going to be the enrollment. Enrollment is such a big issue. We're at one time, Boys Fort had two resolutions that we presented to the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, and one of those resolutions was to to use enroll and to use Chippewa blood from Wisconsin tribes, from Red Lake tribe, and the Turtle Mountain tribe. And our second resolution was to recognize the blood from our neighbors from across the river, the Canadians. And right now, those resolutions are still sitting at the table, as I'm aware of, but there's no action being done on them. And right now, they're in the process of doing enrollment issues right now with the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. We have members of each band that sit on a committee that is looking into those issues of blood quantum and enrollment. And I think eventually we're going to end up being a band that's going to have descendancy. And so that's a big issue. And I think another issue that the government is facing is we have to get out and we have to have open communication with our band members. That's vital. We have to let our band members know that. And so they can come into our office anytime when we're available, any time of the day or week, and meet with us. And we should meet with them to get their ideas and let them know that their ideas are not going to go by the wayside. But thank you.
Folks online can hear you.
Three questions. You'll have 2 minutes. The first question, how can the band create more economic opportunities so band members can build businesses, careers, and jobs within our community?
I'm all for band member empowerment. You know, making it easier for band members to start businesses should be a priority for the council, as it is written in our constitution to basically allow them to start businesses on the reservation. If we could make it easier for them, where they just have to present to the council, it gets approved, you know, they find a parcel of land, or they meet with Lance Hill, the leasing director at the time, you know, we could theoretically make it a fairly easy process for a band member to start a business. I know that we have directors who have knowledge and business experience that they could possibly take on, you know, a little extra, and you know, if somebody can use them as a resource and say, hey, I want to start this business, how do I do it? And how do we start it on the tribe?
Question number 2, given the current administration, including the current congressional seat, what will you do to ensure the wellness of the tribe?
when I hear that, I kind of think of like Save the Boundary Waters. You know, the tribes are the number one defense against, you know, people like Pete Stauber who want to mine out the boundary waters. We should be there in Washington, D.C. lobbying against this ourselves, not just sending a lobbyist. We should send our tribal leaders so that they can hear us speak from the heart.
In your opinion, what is the most important issue facing the band and how are you going to address it?
I kind of touched on that with my opening statement is band member retention, not only through our businesses, but on our reservation. You know, we're sending people away and our power lies within our numbers. If we bring our people back and we give them resources to be successful, we will be successful as a band ourselves. That's really, you know, I make it sound simple, but it isn't. Going to the urban office as leaders or going to Duluth as leaders and giving them the resources to come back and enabling them, hey, we have jobs open over here. We have housing available for you. You know, whether we open up a program that enables reduced housing costs in some of our rentals for a period of time and allow them to get jobs and work for us. That's what I would really like to see is our band membership to come back and be unified as a whole.
Now welcome all the kids to give their closing statement. A bit of housekeeping as we wait for the candidates to return to the room. There are evaluation surveys on your tables. Please complete those towards the end of the event. We'll have a drawing for your completed surveys. We'll give you a ticket. And so you can hand those in to Sasha during some of the later events. And again, as a reminder for those members that are voting in the urban office, voting will take place at the Minneapolis American Indian Center, not the MCC building. All right. At this time, we will begin the closing statements. As a reminder, we'll go in the reverse order. The opening statement. Each candidate will have 3 minutes. I'll hand it over to Jeffrey.
Once again, thank you for everybody coming out tonight. It's really great to see all of your faces here. All I have is to run on is that I'm young. I have a lot to learn, but with learning comes listening. And I will listen to every one of you. I will take what you have to say and I will bring it forward because I will be the voice for you, the band membership. I have no choice but to represent the band membership in the best possible way. Now, I want to say it really is an honor to be running against Dave, Tara, Chief, Carol, who have a long standing with our community and with our band, previous council members. I really appreciate it. It's on. I've always wanted to be on council since I was little, littler, I guess. And you know, I grew up seeing Dave Morrison on the council, and you know, I'm like, I want his spot one day. I think I could do just as good as him, if not better. So when you vote on March 31st, please consider me. And McGwitch, have a good night.
This time we'll invite David Morrison Sr. to give his 3-minute closing statement.
Okay, again, in my opening remarks, I talked about the emphasis of it, the importance of communication. And, you know, you as the band member got a hold the tribal council and whoever gets elected responsible, hold them accountable to their word. And that's the only way that we can move forward with open government. You as band members wanting to meet with us and allow us to take time to meet with each and every one of you. Every time I come to Vermilion, I'm reminded of two good friends of mine, Phyllis Boger and Bob Boger. Phyllis always had a really strong heart for the Vermilion side of the reservation. Her band members were just like her family. She looked out for everyone. She's the one that got this building, and she really worked hard. And back then, you know, the dollars weren't there for her to utilize to build things, but she did what she could to get by. But her heart was for the band membership here. And I know that the Vermilion community and the Net Lake community, we're different. We're different. We're separated by miles, but we're one band. And we have to respect each other as band members. We got to respect what goes on over here at Vermilion, and we got to respect what goes on at Boys Fort. When Boys Fort comes over here during the spring to set our nets and do our netting in the spring, the band membership from here welcome us. In the fall time, when Wild Rice starts, the band members from Vermilion come to Net Lake. We welcome them with open arms. But that's how we got to keep that camaraderie. We got to keep it together. We're all related one way or the other. And I know I had a grandfather here that lived over here from Vermilion. His name was Peter Donald, but his first name was Peter. Before he changed his name was Peter Bignose. But he was my grandfather, and he was my uncle Gary Donald's father. But you know, I do have ties here to the reservation by family. And I want to thank you again. And I encourage every one of you to participate in tonight's meeting. And I want you to select whoever you think is best suited to run our reservation as Secretary Treasurer. I'm very proud to sit by all four of these band members that are here. They're all working hard for the band members. They all work hard for each one of us. And I know that in their heart, they're going to do a good job. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the next presenter. Thank you very much.
Carol Bird to give her 3-minute closing statement.
First of all, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank the people online for being here and listening to all of us. I think all of us have great ideas. We all have our hearts in this. I just want to say that, again, I said this last night, you know, everyone's tired of broken promises, right? My intent is not to do that. If I'm going to say I'm going to do something, I work my butt off to get that done. As the planning director, I'm so proud of our department with all the projects that we brought to the band. We just finished the new public works facility. We're doing a DNR building in Net Lake. We got a food shelf here. We fixed the food shelf or repaired it up in Net. But we've got all these projects, and I think we need to continue with that momentum. And I think the band members need to start letting us know what you really want to see for us. I think right now we're kind of just making those choices, but it's our departments that are getting a hold of us to do that. Another thing we talked about last night was, and I'm not sure if you guys heard this, but tribal enrollment, and that there's things that need to change. But in order to change that, we need to change the Constitution. And so there's some constitutional forums going on, and I don't think we have enough representation on that. So I'm encouraging you all to start being a part of that, because it's the only way it's going to change. That's the only way we're going to be able to change our enrollment, because right now the Minnesota Chippewa tribe kind of governs that. If we want to be autonomous from that, we need to be at those constitutional things so that we can change it. What else did I want to talk about real quick? I guess that's it. I'm my mouth is dry. I need to quit. But thank you guys. And whoever wins, again, I hope you guys take all of our ideas and incorporate them with you. I wish you all great luck. And like everyone else, it's been an honor to run with you guys. Thank you.
like Chief to give his 3-minute closing statement.
I gotta do this up here, guys, because I can't scream as loud as Carol. Anyway, I would like to say thank you to everybody, all the people in attendance, all the people that are watching. Miigwech. I'd like to thank Manny for showing up. He's running for a seat in the House. U.S. House of Representatives. I'd like to thank Manny for showing up, showing interest in our band and our people. Manny's been a friend of mine for a few years now. Do appreciate him being here. Sorry. A couple things I would like to talk about in my closing statement. One is, I know Dave talked a little bit about the financial hardships we're going to be facing in the upcoming with next 3 years with Mr. Trump in office. We're going to be facing some problems. All right, I have no problem with the guy. I just have problems with his policies. Cutting our funding, that's bad. You know, I would, if elected, this is what I would propose. We did this before. Remember, Dave, we did this before and it worked out really good. A 10% cut for our salaries, putting it back into band resources. When I say that, then I'm saying would be 50 grand a year. That would purchase that mobile unit I'm talking about, or that would purchase whatever, and we'd be able to better service our band members in the cities and in urban areas. That's just one of the things to look at. And I really wish whoever gets it would take that back to the council and present it. It should be a resolution. It should be passed. We're here, not for us. We're here for everybody. And that 10% is not that big of a deal. We did it for 3 years, 3.5 years. And it didn't hurt, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I moved back here to help the people. That was my goal. That's what I wanted to do. Wanted to strengthen our band reserve. That's a big one for me, strengthening our band reserve. I talked a little bit last night. Each of our businesses should have a year's operating costs in their financial reserve, not touched at all. Again, I'd like to thank everybody here for the opportunity to be up here with you guys tonight. I'd like to thank everybody else out here for the opportunity. I'd like to thank the people that are watching our video. Miigwech, and good luck. Oh.
I'd like to introduce Tara Gijik to give her 3-minute closing statement.
Oh.
Hey, I talk as loud as I can here. As we look ahead, our responsibility is clear. Protect what we have built, strengthen what is working, and continue transforming our financial future with discipline, transparency, and purpose. The progress we've made, modern systems, stabilized audits, expanded federal revenue, historic reserves, strengthened governance, and invested in our language and infrastructure. It's not accidental. It is the result of steady, principled leadership and commitment to serving our people with honesty and respect. We must not go backward and be stagnant. We must blaze trails and lead. I ask for your support so we can continue this work together. It's funny that you said, cutting a 10%, because I was the one who had that idea when I was the DNR director, and I proposed it to the council. So I get what you mean when you say it's not about money. So I ask for your support. Our band deserves financial systems that honor our sovereignty, protect our resources, and create opportunity for future generations. With your vote, I will continue to serve with integrity, uphold our constitutional responsibilities, and ensure that every decision strengthens boys sport today and far, far into the future. Miigwech.
To the Secretary Treasurer candidates, you all may return to your seats, and if the District 2 representative could please come through. Oh, your devices back.
Hey, Shorty.
That was fine. Okay.
Shorty.
I gotta watch in here. Who's live? I did my off. Oh. Oh, sorry.
Hope that's true, Carol.
Yeah. Got it.
Same as last night?
Yeah.
All right.
They didn't take me last night, so.
Well, yeah, good.
Care, they all hit.
All right, at this time, I'll introduce the candidates for District 2 representative. We have Robert Moyer, Timothy O'Leary, and Alana Sherman. We'll now jump up for the order of opening statements. Okay. It happens a lot. I know. You're fine. And I was like, remember that. Okay. He's like, get it right. You're fine. It happens almost every day. Timothy O'Leary speaking first, followed by Robert Moyer, followed by Elena Sherman. So you'll have 3 minutes to give your opening statement. I'll introduce Timothy O'Leary to go first.
Hello, Annie and Uju, everybody. Everybody here knows me as Woody, Tim O'Leary, Jamie, me with Tig, tree hardened by lightning. This is my native name as a kid growing up, but that aside, coming into this race, I'm bringing 30 years of gaming experience. I think here, District 2 in Vermilion, I've been here for 18 years now. I bought my house 15 years ago. I think District 2 is kind of like the seat for Fortune Bay. It really hasn't been treated that way, though. I really, that kind of what made my decision to run again with the gaming experience, the 13 years at Fortune Bay, minus a year here and there. I just think that we need a seat that knows the industry, the frontline workers, band members as a whole. I've got to know the community pretty good. I don't not talk to anybody here. I always say hello to everybody, and I think that's important to address that. I don't turn anybody away. I help everybody in the spring. I'm not tooting my horn, but it's just something we should do. I think that we need some, I brought this up last night, I'll just touch on it. Some elder needs here. One of the earlier comments was that we're still looking for the money for it. So, I think that's something that as a council member, I can help push for in the future and continue to push for. It's not a short term, it's going to be a long term for, nobody stops getting older. I know that better than anybody right now, I think, but yeah. So, but that'll be my opening statement, and I'll pass the rest on to Robert. Thank you for being here, everybody.
Robert Moyer to make his 3-minute opening statement.
Good evening. My name is Robert Moyer Jr. I'm the District 2 representative here in Vermilion for the past 3.5 or so years. I feel I've grown into the position, matured somewhat, and I'll just say it's been quite the experience, I must say. And, it's, I just keep living every day and just glad to be here and trying to do what's right for the band. And that's all I'll ever be trying to do here. And, I just want to thank everybody that's here tonight to, just being here and getting your vote out and, talk to all of us, reach out. We're all very, easy to talk to. So yeah, just reach out to us. We're all, good terms and everything. So please, thank you and get out and vote on the 31st. All right.
At this time, I'll introduce Elena Sherman to give her 3-minute opening statement.
Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elena Sherman, and I have been living on the Lake Vermilion side of the reservation for close to 18 years. My husband and I have 3 kids that we raise over here, and he currently works at Fortune Bay, and I currently work at Giants Ridge. I run our catering and sales department, and I really love it. I love working off the reservation for now. I feel like I'm able to see new things and learn more things. And so my whole thing for running is that I I see that our tribe needs change. And so if I see that, we all see it. And so I want to be that change. I want to go out there and I want to lead by example. So if anybody has any questions afterwards, you guys can come talk to me, or I'm willing to set up a conversation anytime.
Your opening statements, it's now time to transition to the question and answer phase. We'll follow the same order for opening statements. So Tim, you can hang out here.
Oh, yeah.
Elena and Robert, if you could follow Sasha and Jessica to do their and answer the questions. Oh, and yes, please hand over the devices into the phone box. Oh. Let me get some questions. Good, okay. All right, question number 1, and as a reminder, you'll receive 3 questions. You'll have 2 minutes to respond to each question. Besides cannabis and gaming, what economic development ideas do you have?
Well, for one thing, I don't think cutbacks is the answer. As an employee of the tribe through Fortune Bay, I see nothing but cutbacks. I've come to understand that most of our, I wouldn't call it a loss, but most of the money that the tribe puts out is through payment to our employees. And I understand the more employees we have, the more we have to spend, but I think that's a good thing. Cannabis, besides cannabis, getting a native run business is hard. I've done it. I've owned a business, and insurance is hard. So it's hard for me to advocate for people to get out and start a business. It's a lot easier to work for somebody else. I've learned that. But if you got what it takes, if you have the knowledge, I say the Minnesota Chippewa tribe has the money. They have the funds for you to go out and do it. But you can't do it on the reservation. Your business will have to be run off of the reservation due to precedent set long before us. So keep that in mind. So I think the reservation just has to forge on as a whole. Communications come up. I brought this up last night. It seems to be the number one dispute that nobody talks to anybody. I brought up that Teams that everybody gets emails, but not everybody reads them. I think communication it's the forerunner in expansion for our tribe. All the way, our band members should know pretty much the same time that the council knows if there's going to be a move. So I'm an advocate for that. And I will follow through on that if I'm voted into this office. Thank you.
Second question, what policies should the band adopt to retain educated band members and ensure they have opportunities to lead within our nation?
Policies, well, we have a lot in place now. When I moved up here, I went from being the sole moneymaker in my family to being the sole moneymaker and the sole spender. I actually had to come to the tribe and they advised me that we do give you an opportunity to go to money classes, how to handle your money, how to build your credit. Can you read that question again real quick?
What policies should the band adopt to retain educated band members and ensure they have opportunities to lead within our nation?
Okay. Yeah, I think the tribe should make things more, if I'm saying this right, visible for band members. I got lucky by asking the right questions and I was pointing the right directions to get what I needed. So to the band members, to the people of Vermilion, ask the questions that you want to ask. Don't be afraid. You will advance if you ask the right questions and you apply yourself. Everybody has to apply themselves to the tribe to make the tribe succeed. So we just start there, and that's what we're going to do. Let's hopefully we'll all do it together. Thank you.
Third question, what is one action you would take in your first year to rebuild trust in the tribal council?
First year, obviously, once again, communication. If we don't communicate, we have nothing. You know, we have whispers, and whispers are lies. Talk to the people. You know, as a leader, it's your job. You're voted in by the people. I have been in leadership roles in my life, you know, like I said, a small business owner. And if I didn't talk to my employees, I wouldn't have lasted as long as I did. I think that's not just the first year, but for the whole term. And even if out of office, continue to lead in every way. And that's my goal. I try to lead by example. Like you can't expect everybody to do the same. Not everybody has the same heart as you, but I think as a leader, I think that you should be open door policy, and that will help everybody succeed if you listen and you say what you think also as well as a leader. Thank you.
You can follow Sasha to the candidate room. Project. The refrigerators are on. Right. As a reminder, you will have 3 questions, 2 minutes to respond to each question. First question, besides cannabis and gaming, what economic development ideas do you have?
Right off the bat with, you know, just, you know, I think it was touched on earlier with the small business credit initiative. You know, band members can apply for help in getting the startup funds for businesses, you know, if it's on the res or off the res. I'm pretty sure about, you know, for the res itself, I think, you know, it's, you know, cannabis and gaming is the top right now. We also have, I'm sorry. We also have, you know, like the carbon credits that are coming through the forest land back that was purchased. We, you know, we got other things going right now that are, you know, in progress and stuff, but that's about all.
I can have you, if you wouldn't mind standing,
Oh,
have you walk
yeah, we
around
can
the
do
front
that.
and then just hold this so that folks in the back can hear. These refrigerators are. They get loud. No, no problem. So if you want to hold that and then also just project to those.
I feel like an idiot. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. For question number 2, what policies should the band adopt to retain educated band members and ensure they have opportunities to lead within our nation?
I think trying to stay up in competition with other similar jobs around the area, trying to, I've always been one to say we got to spend money to make money and to get people back and retain them, we will have to pay. And I think just being a step above somewhere else around the area with maybe $1 increase or whatnot between the benefits, we got to focus on, advertising the benefits that come with working back here on the res, especially through like Fortune Bay and the government. So I think that would be the real good way to get people back and retain them.
Question 3, what is one action you would take in your first year to rebuild trust in the tribal council?
I think working together, just working together, the way we do, and there's not a lot of big differences. A lot of the votes are usually the 4-0-0, and but I think one thing that I would like to really work on is getting the equal voting rights to each of our band members, so we have the same representation on council from one person to the other. I think that'd be my main step on just getting everybody equal and us all working together. Thank you. That's it.
Like everybody else. Stand and then just projecting so folks in the back can hear. Okay. As a reminder, you'll have 3 questions and you'll have 2 minutes to respond to each question.
Okay.
First question, besides cannabis and gaming, what economic development ideas do you have?
Besides cannabis and gaming,
Yes.
I think it would be a wise decision to look at branching off our health system, our healthcare. And that is a huge revenue generating area that we can utilize. So I think that would be a good step into making that its own and start bringing that money back into the tribe. Oh, that was it. Sorry.
Question 2, what policies should the band adopt to retain educated band members and ensure they have opportunities to lead within our nation?
Can you repeat that one more time? Sorry.
What policies should the band adopt to retain educated band members and ensure they have opportunities to lead within our nation?
I think starting at the 477 program and trying to utilize that program into getting more band members into schooling, seeing what even trade schooling, see if we can give them, the means to get to school, getting them back here, putting them on some sort of contract. Hey, you're going to come back and, bring those skills that you earned out there, bring them back here and show us what we could do here.
Question. What is one action you would take in your first year to rebuild trust in the tribal council?
I would say for sure leading by example. My thought is if I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. If anybody has an issue, I would do whatever it is possible to make sure that you feel heard and supported, because that's how a lot of our issues do get fixed, is having that conversation, making issues known so that we can work together to find that solution. So So yeah, the part, sorry.
What is one action you would take in your first year to rebuild trust in the tribal council?
And the last part of that, another idea I had is that to hold monthly, at least council sessions. In so Vermilion, Nut Lake, and the urban office areas, because we shouldn't just be visiting with our tribal members during election time. It should be all the time, because that's where we build that trust, knowing everybody, knowing our people. Oh, done.
Sorry. We'll now welcome all of the candidates back in to give their closing statements. And again, a bit of housekeeping while we wait for all the candidates to return to the room. There are evaluation surveys on your table. You could complete those and hand them to Sasha when she gets back in the room. She'll give you a ticket for our drawing at the end of the forum. No, I laid right there. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Sat for a little bit and then
I started here and swaying my legs off. Just kidding.
As a reminder for the closing statements, we'll be going in reverse order from the opening statements. Candidate will have 3 minutes to give their closing statement, and Elena, you are up first.
Sorry, I should just stay. Okay, so in closing, my biggest thing is, in order for us to make sure that we get this changes we want, we have to get out there and vote. Let your family know, your friends know that, do the research, talk to the candidates that you want to endorse. Make sure that they know that your issues are heard and your voices are heard, and make sure you get out and vote. And so if anybody has any questions or want to talk, I'm open to listening. Thank you.
We'll now invite Robert to give his 3-minute closing statement.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here again, and and Karina for the wonderful meal. Jalen, he must have stepped out or whatnot, but for everything that he did today. I just want to say, truly, I feel I've matured in this role, and I feel I really do have more to bring forth, and I think I just have more things to accomplish, and I think I could be really good for one more term, and I I'm just so happy and just honored that I was able to do this for the 4 years that I have, and what happens next, I'm fine with it, and just want to wish good luck to everybody, and let's all be good, and let's all just live life, and that's about all. Thank you, guys.
We'll now invite Timothy to give his 3-minute closing statement.
All right, if you don't mind, I'm just going to say, Simone, I'm going to close with, as of yesterday and the day before, I learned of 3 people that passed away, all of Nut Lake. 2 are friends of the older generation of my family, and one's a current member of my family, her husband. Just our thoughts go out to them. A tough time. I hope, everybody can heal. It takes time. So with that said, I'll start with where I closed yesterday. I really care about getting an elder building. The baseball field's nice. The Twins donated it. There's nothing wrong with that land. I'd really like to work with planning to get an up-to-date elder facility where it's, like I said, you can't rebuild a building so many times. We need a modernized building for our elders. I think that the community can get together on that idea, with the input. I have to ask the community what their thoughts are first, but it's just such a big deal to me. It matters. Second, I'd like to see more band members applying for work at the casino, doing what they can, your voice matters, advance yourself, put yourself forward, put yourself out there, and don't give up so easily. That's just advice, something I was forced to live by for my generation. I think it's a good idea that you ask for advancement. I think it's a good idea that you ask, every question you have so you can move forward within our tribe. Maybe not at just the casino, but, in the tribal government. All right, I'll touch on one more thing here. I think that Vermilion's a pretty tight-knit community. I think a lot of people, what I've came to the conclusion already, and I hate to say this, that a lot of people made up their minds about voting. I'd like to see or ask, keep your minds open during this election. We have 3 candidates, all definitely worthy of this position, and consider each one carefully as you're voting. And please, everybody that's here and everybody that can see this, get out and vote. We need our people to be heard. So I'll close with that, and thank you very much, everybody.
This concludes the candidate forum. I'd like to thank the candidates and the audience for your participation, for your respect to the protocols. It's been an honor and a privilege to learn more about the candidates' thoughts, values, and vision for the Boys Fort Band of Chippewa. As a final reminder for those members voting in the urban district, you'll be voting at the Minneapolis American Indian Center, not the MCT building. And as all the candidates have echoed, the primary election will take place on Tuesday, March 31st. Please turn your surveys into Sasha. She'll give you a raffle ticket for the drawing. And miigwech and safe travels home.
Your text message you got the other day.
Oh, yeah.